Hi guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me. So today we're doing things a little bit different. We're just gonna get in the car, got a couple of errands to run, but I have another topic for you today. So today I want to talk to you more about what I have learned from the Asian culture. You know, what are the things that have stuck out to me, that have kind of made the most impact, and just something that I didn't know prior till I moved to California. So come along with me and just see from my point of view and my personal journey what I learned. Okay, so I could talk about so many things that I've learned, but you know what, just for the sake of this video, I'm gonna do something and only talk about 5 things that have really stood out to me and what I've learned about the Asian culture, okay? So, number 1, what I've learned that has shocked me the most is that there is different ethnicities within the Asian culture, okay? So it's not just all Asians, we're all Asian, okay? Like, we have Koreans, we have Japanese, we have Vietnamese, we have Cambodian, we have Lao, we have Thai. And I had no idea. You know, in my mind, I'm just naive and I'm just thinking like, we're all the same, you know, same origin. I mean, I had never even like been to Asia. So, you know, it was very naive at that. And so just to distinguish and like meet people that are like, for instance, Filipino, I would have thought they were just right off the bat Mexican. You know, like that's just me because I grew up with Mexicans, you know what I mean? And then I understand the history behind it, right? And then it all makes sense and it clicks. And so that's one thing that I was definitely educated on a little bit more was that, yeah, you're not all the same, you know, like there's different cultures. And you know what, and then when you go visit these cultures, say like I've had the opportunity as an adult to go experience Thailand and Japan, right? And it's so beautiful, but it is so amazing to see how the different cultures, they're a little bit slightly different, right? But they all kind of embody the same thing, and everybody is just so sweet, and the Asian culture it really is beautiful. And I just didn't give it enough credit as I should have. So that was the first thing, right? Moving on to number 2. The second thing was I never understood this stereotype of Asian drivers. Okay, like in my town, I was the only Asian driver, so I could get away with whatever, all right? Like I could park wherever, like, and first of all, in Texas and where I lived, it was a small town. Like the parking lots didn't even really have lines, you know? Like you just respected each other and you just knew like, all right, park straight, park here, you're good, you're fine, no one's gonna ding your door, you're out in the country, you've got space. That is not the case here. Like if you ever experienced the 626 area, right? So San Gabriel Valley, Rosemead, Temple City, yeah, they're all Asian drivers and they're all either driving Toyotas or they're driving their little vans, what is it called? An Odyssey, a Sienna, yeah, a Sienna. Brian's been wanting to put me in a Sienna since day one, you know, and it's cute, you know, like I understand it now. Now I see, like I never understood why Asians liked Toyota, you know? So that's just kind of like the little funny things. That's kind of like 3 little funny things. I'm sorry, I kind of all grouped them together that I've learned about the Asian culture. But a little bit more on the serious note, I guess, another thing that I've also learned is that they're just they're very respectful, and a lot of the kind of like, I wouldn't say rituals, but kind of teachings and practices that they have, I've learned to kind of look more behind of like the intent of why they do it, and learning different kind of like religions, right? And like faiths, and just seeing how their mind works and why, you know, why they think they're put on this earth to live. And it's just been a beautiful thing because I've been kind of slowly introduced to another way of life because I've only known my way, right? I've only known my small town, Texas, Christian, little white family. And so that was something I was really kind of humbled by, was just kind of like their respect that they have for their culture and their religion. And then another thing that I just have learned to love about the Asian culture is their food. Oh my gosh, like when I first moved to California, I remember I had no idea what pho was. Pho was not a thing in Texas, and I would eat that probably 3 or 4 times a week by myself, mind you, because that's how much I enjoyed and loved pho. And then you visit places like Arcadia, 626, and then you realize, you're like, wow, like there's so much Asian food. So much dumplings, so much noodles, and this is the authentic type of Asian food, okay? This is the type of frozen, this is not, Hispanic, like infused, flavored Tex-Mex. Like this food is super authentic, and I really have enjoyed my food journey. I think that's something I at heart have always wanted to be, as a little foodie, a little foodie raider, because I love food, and I think it's just kind of something that I have easily given me a gateway to love and want to learn more about the Asian culture. So food. And then I guess the final thing that I have learned about the Asian culture that I think is quite beautiful is, and I think this is maybe just in the recent days, right? In the 21st century, I've seen this uprise of the Asian community finally like being confident enough to come out and do things like this, right? Like want to have the confidence just to like do a little video. Like who cares who sees it, if they do or they don't, but just share our stories and our testimonies and do something that's not your stereotypical Asian job, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And a lot of them are just like really like honing in on their arts and crafts. And growing up in my high school, like that was not a thing. So for me to come out here and have that sense of like freedom and like having that connection where I can relate with people that they do that and they get it, I think that was something that I really needed in my life at that time, and I really enjoyed and accepted. But I also found that it was just really beautiful that it didn't matter like what ethnicity you were, like people still loved to do, and they were going to continue to do what they wanted to do alongside of what they were going to do anyways, whether it was going to school or having their own business. So I just think the Asian community has just really wowed me, and I've seen them just kind of stretch their limits and be entrepreneurs and doing things for themselves, and I'm just really proud. So that's something that that they have taught me that I totally did not know beforehand. So yeah, those are just a few things, and I'm still learning every day. Now that I have my own family and we're all Asian American, like I want her to learn about her culture, right? And I want to continue to learn about mine, and it's just something that my parents, even like my adoptive parents, like they are always so gracious and excited to learn about too. So yeah, you just never know. Oh, and the other thing that Asian culture is, they're just so funny. Like Brian's dad, he was such a sweetheart. He would always joke, and he was always saying jokes like, for instance, like the one thing I did learn that's a funny thing. I know I'm kind of going off in a tangent, but I wanted to bring this up. So I never understood until I met Brian that Asians didn't really like animals. Like they don't like pets, they don't have dogs in the house type of thing. And me growing up in Texas, like, what, you don't have an animal? You don't have a pet? You don't have a dog? Like dogs are like the cutest, most cuddly, but just, it's like you always have a dog. They're just there. They're just there. They go with a wholesome family, and it just makes sense. And so anyways, when I met my husband, I think it was just so funny, all the jokes that they would crack when we first got Cooper about, if you leave that dog here, I'm gonna eat him, I'm gonna roast him. And of course it took time for, our dad or my father-in-law to get to like him when he was a puppy, but he got around to him. And now my sister-in-law, I found a cat and I gave her the cat, and now we're a family of just like, I've influenced the animals into the family, and they've come to really love them. So I think that's just a personal thing that I think was really funny and interesting that I learned about them. But they're willing, and they have a super big heart for these animals, and it's their kids. But yeah, that's the things that I've learned about the Asian culture. And like I said, there's so much more that I can expand on, but that's what I think kind of stood out to me the most at the moment. And yeah, so I appreciate you guys taking the time just to like listen to me talk again and just kind of rant on about my experience, kind of like learning more about my culture. But thank you for stopping by. And if you want to hear another video, right, always continue. Just please like, subscribe, follow, and then hopefully I will hear from you guys soon. All right, we'll see you guys. Bye.